Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Namaduhu wa nasalli ala Rasul al-Kareem. Viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This video is about the very well-known verse of the Quran in Surah Ma'idah, which is chapter 5 of the Quran, and the verse is 3. The relevant part of this ayat, of this verse is, "This day I have perfected for you your religion, and completed my favor upon you, and have approved for you Islam as religion. But whoever is forced by severe hunger with no inclination to sin, then indeed Allah is forgiving, merciful." This verse clearly says, the Quran says Islam as a religion. And before I give you the mistranslation or the misleading translation, I'd like you to watch a short clip by a person, a grandmother who came to Islam after reading this verse, just to illustrate that a wrong translation can change a person's thinking. So before I translate the verse or give the translation, please watch the video by a person who accepted Islam because of this particular ayat, particular verse of the Quran.
Iman was very interested in the Quran. She endeavored to learn and understand more about Islam, until one night, Allah led her to a verse that made her not stop crying.
And then one night, Allah guided me to an ayat and a surah, and it mentioned, "This day I have completed my favor upon you. I have perfected your religion, and I have chosen Islam as your religion." This was amazing to me, just amazing, that I realized that God had a religion.
Now, see how Muhammad Asad translates this verse. Muhammad Asad's translation is as follows, and I quote, "Today I have perfected your religious law for you, and have bestowed upon you the full measure of my blessings, and willed that self-surrender unto me shall be your religion." Notice in this translation by Muhammad Asad, he does not mention Islam. He just mentions self-surrender. Although Allah specifically says Islam. Now think, if this lady who came into Islam had read Muhammad Asad's translation, she would not have known that Allah is talking about Islam as the chosen religion. Muhammad Asad mentions self-surrender, which is not a name of any religion. There's no such religion called self-surrender. A Jew, Christian, Hindu, or anyone could think that this applies to them also. This is very, very misleading and should be kept in mind by people who are reading such translations, that when they know that the translation is not accurate, that they have to check, they have to go to the Arabic Quran and see what Allah is saying. Now, those people who are trying to learn Islam through translations are advised to check my previous videos on this subject to see which verses of the Quran have been mistranslated or translated in a way which is misleading. So if they subscribe, they can watch the future videos on other verses of the Quran. So inshallah, I intend to go through the entire Quran and point out the errors that have been made with regard to the translation, which have been made in the translations, which could be misleading for the readers. It is said that when this verse was revealed, some Jews came to Umar radiallahu anhu, who was the second caliph, and said to him that if this was revealed about their religion, if there was a verse that said Judaism is the chosen religion, they would have taken that day on which the verse was revealed as a day of celebration. Muhammad Asad doesn't mention that fact that this was said by the Jews to Umar radiallahu anhu. So please, readers are advised to be very careful when whatever translation they are using. They should see what the verses that I have mentioned in this video, like Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse 3, and the other verses which have been mentioned in the previous videos, should be checked to see if the translation is accurate. People reading the Quran owe it to themselves that they get the proper message of the Quran. Wa akhir dawana in alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.